All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down a really innovative platform that was designed to solve a massive, and I mean massive, headache for pretty much any researcher out there. We're talking about taking the entire research process and making it, well, simple. So let me ask you, if you've ever tried to run a study online, does this feel familiar? You've got this brilliant idea, but to actually make it happen, you're constantly bouncing between different apps, exporting files, importing them somewhere else, and just hoping it all works together. It can be a real creativity killer. For most people, a typical research journey is a three-step dance. First, you're in a design tool like Qualtrics building your study. Then you have to jump over to a totally separate platform like mTurk to find people to actually take it. And finally, you have to pull all that data into another program like SPSS to do your analysis. Each step is its own little world. And that really brings us to the heart of the problem, what we could call a researcher's fragmented world. Sure, all the tools we use are powerful, but the fact is, they're scattered all over the place. It's a constant juggle. It always starts here, with your design software. You know how it is. You pour hours, maybe even days, into crafting the absolute perfect survey in something like Qualtrics. It's your baby. It's where the whole idea comes to life. And when you're done, it feels great. It's clean, it's ready to go, or so you think. Because the second it's built, you hit a wall. Your beautiful study is basically trapped. Now you have to figure out how to get people to actually see it, which means launching into a completely separate universe, like Amazon's mTurk. It's a whole different system with its own logic, its own payment process, a total change of gears. And even when you finally get all your data back, you're still not done switching platforms. That raw data has to be carefully exported, downloaded, and then imported into yet another piece of software like SPSS or R. This is where you find your big insights, but it's one more program to learn and one more place where things can go wrong. And look, this disconnection isn't just an inconvenience. It has real costs. It's that horrible sinking feeling when your data file won't import correctly. It's the hidden expense of paying for 3 different services. And as the source material points out, the biggest cost is time. All that valuable time spent just managing the tech instead of focusing on the actual research. But what if there was a way to bring all those scattered pieces together into one place? Well, this is where the story pivots. Let's talk about the solution that's proposed here, a platform called Credamo. And this visual just says it all, doesn't it? The whole idea behind Credamo is to integrate that entire workflow. So instead of 3 separate, clunky steps, it becomes one single, seamless cycle. Design, recruit, analyze, all inside one unified ecosystem. Let's quickly break that down. Credamo is basically built on 3 pillars that directly address that fragmentation problem. It's got robust tools for designing your questionnaires, it has its own integrated service for finding participants, and it has built-in tools for data analysis. Everything you need, all under one roof. Okay, so it's a one-stop shop, we get that. But just putting everything together is only the beginning. Let's take a quick tour of some of the advanced features, because this is where things get really, really powerful. First up, let's talk about scale. That built-in sample service we mentioned, it's not some small side feature. Credamo has a domestic panel of over 3 million registered participants. That is a massive resource, ready and waiting the second your study is ready to launch. Now, this is really fascinating. Think about how this lowers the barrier for some seriously advanced research. Traditionally, if you wanted to do eye tracking, you needed expensive, complicated equipment stuck in a lab. Credamo lets you do it with a standard computer camera. And for EEG data, it works with portable equipment. This just makes this kind of research so much more accessible. And hey, for anyone in psychology or behavioral science, this is a total game changer. There's a feature called Human Behavior Online, or HBO, that lets you design complex experiments, the kind that used to require special software like ePrime. But here's the best part. You can do it all without writing a single line of code. It really democratizes experimental design. And the list just keeps going. The platform is packed with other cool tools. There's SurveyGPT to help you generate questionnaires using AI. It has built-in support for complex stuff like longitudinal studies or paired studies, and this is huge. You can do your statistical modeling right there on the platform. Think about that for a second. No more exporting data. The insights happen right where your data lives. So what does this all actually mean in practice? Well, when you combine this kind of seamless integration with all these powerful features, you get a whole new way of doing research. It's basically research reimagined. Let's see how it's being used in the real world. This table from the source material lays it out perfectly. In the academic world, it's being used for everything from randomized experiments to those complex behavioral studies. And then in the commercial world, businesses are using it for really concrete things, like testing out new product concepts, different packaging designs, or even how products are displayed on a shelf. And this isn't just theory, it's having a real impact. The source article wraps up with this powerful quote here saying that Credamo is genuinely becoming an important force driving real breakthroughs. The proof? In just the last 3 years, data from the platform has supported over 50 papers in top-tier academic journals. So, we'll end with this thought. By removing all that friction, all those little technical hurdles, platforms like this one aren't just making research more efficient, they're actually changing what's possible. It really leaves you wondering, what new questions could you ask? What could you discover if your tools were never the thing holding you back?